everybody, I'm John Granado. That's Josh Jordan. You can hear us on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Welcome to Sports Map Texans. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, get all of our content here at Sports Map Texans. This week, Nick Caserio was asked about possibly extending players this season. Which players, Josh, do you want to see the Texans bring back?
Man, there's a few of them that really interest me that have had great years. One of the guys I want to start with is Tavierre Thomas. You know, he's been really good for them. They felt so confident in him. They let Des King go. You know, they need a really good slot corner. He's been great at that. I don't think he's going to cost you a ton. And, you know, D'Amico with that defense, I mean, you're going to want to have guys that can cover and play well, and I don't think he'll break the bank.
He's got a couple good years of tape, though.
Yeah.
I think that he could get overpaid in the market. I think that, you know, there's such a need for corners. This guy is a good young player. He's probably at the top of the list of these guys. Well, Dalton Schultz is a guy, you know, he's starting to come around now. I don't know if he's going to stick around. We'll see what happens. But Tavierre is a really good player and could be a really good player in this league. I'm with you. They got to hang on to him.
Yeah, you know, Shaq Griffin's another guy on this list. A lot of these corners interest me, and probably Steven Nelson at the top of the list. I mean, he's your number one corner. He could have had 3 interceptions in the Saints game. He ended up with the one that sealed the ball game for him. But he's a guy that, you know, with Stingley, you know, being so injury prone, I mean, Steven Nelson's pretty much your number one corner, so he would be a top priority for me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one as well. The only problem, well, I don't know. Does Nick Caserio, he didn't hold a grudge this year. He gave him more money, right?
Yeah.
But the stuff that Steven Nelson was saying, I'm not sure if I'm Nick Caserio that I want to. I certainly am not wearing a vest around him. That's for sure. But, yeah, I agree with you there. What about Rankins?
I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to measure what interior or defensive linemen are doing, but I will say this. The Texans have gone from pretty much the worst at defending the run in the league to being middle of the pack, and he's one of the new faces in there, you know, because, well, Will Anderson too, but, you know, Grenard, some of those other guys, Malik Collins, they've been around. So maybe Rankins is a guy that's making a big difference, but maybe the most important, and you mentioned him, is Dalton Schultz. I mean, just being that security blanket for C.J. Stroud, you know, having somebody that he can go to in clutch situations. You know, he's really athletic. He's great in the red zone. So, I mean, Dalton Schultz is a guy I'd love to get. My only concern with him is this uptick in his production has coincided with Tank Dell being out. So I wonder, will this continue when Tank's back, or will CJ start, you know, making Tank the main weapon again?
You know what? He was hitting Brevin Jordan before he was hitting Schultz, so maybe it's just he just found Schultz now, and he's going to continue to find Schultz, I think. Noah Brown is an interesting guy as well. He just adds depth for you. I think they still have to upgrade. I would love to see him use a pretty high pick on a weapon on the outside, even another one. You can't have enough. Look at the Miami Dolphins. You just can't have enough weapons, and I would like to see them. I don't think that Noah Brown is a necessity, but I think that he's a nice depth guy if you don't have to pay him too much.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you know, you got to think, you know, it'll be Nico and Tank, hopefully, in 2 wide receiver sets. And I guess it depends on how John Mechie develops, right? If he comes around, and then maybe you feel okay with letting Noah Brown walk. So I think a lot will be on Mechie.
Well, and Grenard's got a lot to prove. If Grenard can be that guy on the other side, there's a lot of talk about Chase Young, maybe trading for him.
Yeah.
Or this offseason going after Chase Young. Jonathan Grenard has got some more to prove because their pass rush is still – I mean, well, their sacks are one of the worst in the league. So
second to last.
They're not getting to the quarterback. So Jonathan Grenard has got to play a lot better if you're going to extend him.
He does, and that's also, he's dealt with his fair share of injuries, so that's one of the other knocks on him. He's got to stay healthy.
Absolutely.